Hello, today I'm building in Copperdale because I was starting gameplay for those new Grim Reaper rewards, but my UI is still broken. It's like the 27th of September and I still can't do them. But I built a little starter home for my family and I decided to record it. I wasn't really sure how it would turn out because, like, if it's just for my gameplay, I don't really care as much about what it looks like, and I had a feeling that the inside was gonna be like nothing in it. And it kind of is like that. It just has like the essentials. It's a 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom home that I made for two sisters who are spellcasters. Um I I remember their names? One is Lacey and she's a young adult, and I cannot remember the sister's name, but the sister is a teen. They live here in Copperdale, which I decided on because I'm doing my Haunted Copperdale save file, and I thought it would be nice to give me another reason to keep making builds for the save file, because I was like, oh, like while I update it, I can add in those lots to the world and like make it really like look really full and nice. So I currently have the Copperdale Cinema installed in to the well, installed is a weird thing to say, placed down in my Copperdale for the save file. And I was thinking this could be like one of the builds for the save file. It could be an option. I don't think I need to like have like fully built up and furnished expensive homes throughout an entire save file. So I might label this as in the Haunted Copperdale save file on the gallery as like another option if I have like a story idea for this lot, because this is my favorite lot in Copperdale, so I feel like I want to build something else here again. I've built on this lot so many times, but I think I'm gonna upload this as an option for the Copperdale save file. This could be like the lot that I settle on for it, because I do like the exterior of it a lot. It's just like was really hard because I ran out of money pretty quickly, and I probably didn't need to spend as much money on the exterior as I did because I put like some ivy pieces around that is a little bit expensive. I try to limit it. I didn't like put too much, but for how limited the like items were outside, it looks like a really nice landscape and exterior. It didn't seem like I had to like limit my money on it, which is good. But the interior, I mean, you had seen in the preview before. It is not there's not a lot in it. It just has like the necessities and some decor items. I mostly was sizing up certain items because I was like, okay, I need to fill in some space. So I'll just like make these plants larger so it looks a little bit more like put together and not as empty. But in my head, I'm like, my Sims just moved in here. They don't like have all of their like items. Nothing's really like unpacked, and they're going to be buying things over time to like fill the space is what I was like considering for it. And like I've been really enjoying the gameplay again. It's been like fun, but sadly my UI is broken for the challenges, and everything I've tried, nothing works to fix it. And I know other people have had this problem because I was looking on Twitter, and like some people have CCM mods, but other people don't. And so like I do have mods in my game, and I had mods when I updated and stuff, which has never caused me an issue before. But because other people have the same problem and they don't have any mods or CC, it makes me think that maybe it's just like an issue with like the game for some people that I hope gets fixed, because I really did try everything. I even backed up a bunch of my like stuff and repaired my game, and then I accidentally lost all my CC. And thankfully I did have a backup of the CC, so when I put it back in my game, it was all fine. At least like the hair I was using was still there and like the skin overlay. I don't know about everything else. I don't know when I last updated my game, but I really like the shape of this house. The back I feel like is pretty interesting with these Strangerville windows. The Strangerville windows are very cheap, so I was able to use those throughout and not spend like too much money. Like $30 a window isn't too bad considering that a lot of the stuff in the game is pretty expensive, especially with like just base game. Like base game windows and stuff are pretty expensive. And I feel like I have a good amount of windows. I think I needed this many. Like I couldn't have deleted one or else it would have like felt very dark and like depressing inside. And like all my landscape that I used is completely like free because it's debug. I probably didn't need to use those shutters because they are like they do cost money, but I felt like they were necessary. But if you do download this house and you want it as a starter home for your Sims, you could delete some of the decorative stuff like those shutters and the ivy. It like doesn't really like take away from the exterior, and you'll have some extra money either to spend on like food for your Sims or like crafting supplies. Cause I kind of spent all of my Sims money. They had like 40 simoleons left over, I think. So and I gave them like a cross stitch thing and um a knitting thing, and I couldn't even like buy anything for them to use their hobby items. And I was like, oh, this was a bit strange. And so they also survived on the fruit cake that the welcome wagon brought, which they hated, of course. And quick meals for like a few days until my sim went to work and made some money. I do have some pictures of my gameplay at the end of the video with like because like there's not a lot of screenshots, so I included some of my gameplay that I did, which I'm gonna be streaming on Twitch. I streamed last like I streamed whenever the update happened, and then I realized that my UI was broken after I restarted my game and I couldn't really do the challenges, but I still played a little bit of that. And then when I was like, okay, well, I did like a few hours of gameplay, and then I switched over to Dead by Daylight Chaos Shuffle that came out. A lot of games got updates this week. It's been like I was like really excited for this week, and I was really excited for this update with the new challenges, but I'm gonna have to wait and try to figure out what's happening. Also, another thing that I did last week was I finally put together the channel memberships, which is like not like a required thing. It's like an optional $1 a month, or like I have one that's like if you want to give a little bit more, it's like $3 a month. It doesn't really like offer a lot, so don't feel pressured or don't feel like you're missing out on anything. All it is, like I've been using it as just like a place to do like text post updates. Um, where like I because I feel pretty annoying half the times. And so like having just like that little membership section, I just like post more of like updates of what I'm doing, and it also helps me to organize my thoughts. I've realized like I woke up today and I had an idea for a build, and I was like, okay, pumpkins and trees and like those glowing orbs from Realm of Magic. And so I was like, I'm gonna forget that. I was like, you know where you could put it though? In the membership tab, because you're not annoying anybody if you put like your work in progress stuff there, and then you could look and you could remember all the stuff that you want to do. And so that's kind of what I'm using it for. Also, like whenever I finish making a video and I render it, like it'll be early for members, but it's not really guaranteed. That's just like an extra thing that YouTube has as an option. Because most of the time I don't finish my builds very early. Like a while ago, I used to finish my builds before Monday, which is when I upload them. But lately, it's usually Sunday, maybe Saturday. This time it's going to be early because this video is very short. And I know last week I spoke about how I wanted to like upload, it was like really large builds, but I just didn't get around to editing or finishing the builds because they are huge and they are probably going to be almost an hour in length for the video. And I was like, there's no way. And like because of like all the game updates that have been happening this week, I felt like I could like play the other games that I like, and not like to have to like scramble to finish a very large build and edit it. And so it's good that I had made this because I didn't expect to make this. And I really like how it turned out. you'll see like the interior isn't much to look at, but I feel like it's all you really need. And it is like a nice little witchy starter home, which I don't really see very often, so it could be useful for a lot of people. I couldn't afford a cauldron or anything, so there's nothing like witchy in here. It's just a starter home that I made specifically for my spellcaster sims that I'll develop over time. It is a haunted residential lot because that's just like how I like to play. So if you don't like that, you could change it to a residential. It'll probably be uploaded as a haunted house. And it's like it's so much fun. I don't know. I just like seeing little ghosts appear and like Gidgery hanging out. I just really like the paranormal stuff pack. And for the the floor plan, I was just like, I don't really know what's going on. I just knew I needed two bedrooms because this house is for two Sims. So I was like, I need that. And then this room off to the left, I was going to make an office, but I end up putting in the crystal like jewelry making thing because I wanted to play around with that too because I haven't done that for gameplay yet. Um, so like I really haven't played around with like any of the packs for gameplay in the last year or so. I think the last time I played with a gameplay pack it was for high school years, so it's been a while. Or maybe it was growing together for my 100 baby challenge a while ago. So it's been a while. I remember I did some horse ranch gameplay, but everything after those I haven't even like touched besides for my build videos and like using the items. So I like wanted a place for that, and I wish I could have like cluttered it really nicely and put a lot of different like decor items around the room because that room ends up just being the jewelry making table, which is pretty expensive too, so you could delete that. Also, I wanted a fireplace in here because I love fireplaces and builds, and that's pretty expensive too. It's like 450 simoleons. So you could definitely make some changes. If you download this, you could get rid of some of these things and swap it for cheaper items. But this is kind of what I wanted because I was like, I'm mostly just doing this for my gameplay, and it's okay if the house is a little empty. This is usually what happens anyway when I do gameplay. My builds, they aren't as like detailed as they are when I'm just building for a video. You can see that there's a big jump and there is some wallpaper around. It's because I forgot to press record again because I stepped away and then I came back. And I was like, oh no, I forgot it. But it's okay because I used very expensive wooden paneling, and I was like, Megan, you cannot use like wood paneling that's like 30 to 40 simoleons per like piece. And so I like went back in and I changed it to a cheaper wood wall, which looks a little bit more distressed and weathered, which I think fits the vibe anyway. But like I wanted to use my favorite wood paneling, a lot more expensive than I had thought it would be, and I'm glad I changed it because I would not have been able to finish furnishing the house if I didn't. And it was good that I changed it because now you could kind of see each wallpaper in the rooms while I was doing it because I completely forgot to record. But I used like from the crystal creations, I used the wallpaper in both the bedrooms. I think the green one is like vampires, maybe. I don't really know which pack that's from, but I just like mix and matched some wallpapers throughout, different accent walls here and there. That's pretty much it. But I knew I needed a bookcase because I was like, okay, my Sims probably need a bookcase in here and it'll fill up the space a little bit. I just couldn't really decide on which one. And the good thing is that because this video is so short, I like didn't have to make as many cuts to like bring the like footage down. So like you could kind of see like some of the options I was clicking through. You could see that I've been like sizing up the plants to fill in the space a little bit more so that I could do it for cheaper. And like upstairs I really don't like have enough money to do a lot of clutter, so I use like dirty mugs and like mostly the everyday clutter kit because that stuff is pretty cheap. So, and like I could just like put a couple things here and there on the side tables to make it look like a little bit lived in and not completely empty. But I'm excited to see this house like develop over time in my gameplay. That's my favorite way to play Sims, is to like not cheat money and slowly build up and like redecorate and like maybe expand and renovate a house in the future, or like completely build a new house and just watch my Sims family grow. And like I know that there's a new like website where you could have like your family tree and stuff, which I'll probably end up doing. Um I'm hoping that the gameplay, like I still want to keep doing gameplay, and I hope that the UI gets fixed somehow because I really like the Grim Reaper rewards, and like that's like I was so excited. That's like the exact sort of gameplay I want. Like I love the Grim Reaper in The Sims. And so I'm hoping that it works out, and with like the next week's challenges or something, I'll be able to do the previous week's ones without any issues. We'll see. And I didn't do anything for the walls except add some distress and some spider webs. I wanted to put away more spider webs around. I didn't, mostly just because I didn't really have the time, because I did this like right before I was streaming. Because I was like, I don't want to do create a sim, a build, and gameplay all at once because then I'll never do gameplay on stream. So I like did it over time. Like I woke up in the morning, I like did some like create a sim, and then later on I was like, oh, let me build a house because I was gonna do an apartment, but I was like, no, like let me build one. But yeah, here are all the screenshots now. You'll see it is a little bit empty, but I feel like it's still like charming and it looks lived in. And I think that's good enough for a starter home. There isn't really much else I could have done besides like get rid of some expensive things. And I'll have like some of my gameplay screenshots. Like there's my two Sims moving in. The house is haunted, so the ghosts kept like harassing everybody who showed up. Even Vlad was terrified. He literally fled my house in the middle of the night because the ghost scared him away, which I thought was really funny. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll have another build video next week. Hopefully one of the like large ones that's like a lot longer than this because this was a short one. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye.